The drought. It's dry, not a lot of rain. And some places are fortunate enough to get rain. And Southern California is not one of those places. Recently we've been getting some, but it does not proportionally represent the overall state. Some places like East Porterville are still suffering, while here in Arcadia, people can waste as much water they want without some serious consequences, until the city intervenes. And that's what we're here to talk about today on Apache News.
Returning home, the sharp contrast between the dry, arid East Porterville and the healthy, green Arcadia becomes more apparent. Green fields, lawns, blooming flowers, and part of the scenery. Here, the drought becomes just another subject.
You know, in Arcadia, we have green everywhere in a place where there really shouldn't be any green because we live in a desert. And then to come here and to sit in what is literally a dry riverbed is such a contrast. And it makes me really realize that all that green space is just artificial.
Here in Arcadia, our waste doesn't present immediately concerning results like it does in East Porterville. Arcadia can waste and never notice the changes, forcing the city to implement restrictions.
Arcadia has made a lot of progress, but still has a lot of work to do. We ended the last water year, which ended last February, at a cumulative reduction of 25% as compared to 2013. It's been really difficult actually to get people to change. One of the things that's been most challenging has been kind of creating the buy-in from the community. Since they aren't really immediately affected by a lack of water, it's really hard for them to kind of see the urgency of the situation and actually start to care about water use.
You know, you'd always hear about droughts going on in California, especially like in Arcadia. You know, all these new water restrictions have come in lately. And you look at a place like Porterville and then you come back here to a place like Arcadia, it's just it's like an alien world almost. In Porterville, you have people literally, you know, getting sick and searching for this water and going through like these complete unorthodox methods to go get it. So here, I feel like people aren't exactly aware that there's even a problem.
We're kind of continuing our focus on community engagement, outreach, and education. We have some partnerships in the work, first with the Arboretum, and we're also going to continue to update our water conservation ordinance, make it a little bit more nuanced.
The city of Arcadia has been making their attempts to be assertive, establishing strict rules and enforcement towards water use. For example, no watering between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m., only watering lawns 2 days a week, no hosing down driveways, sidewalks, and even your cars if you're not using a specific type of nozzle. The enforcement of these rules start with a warning, then a notice. If the waste isn't controlled by Phase 3, the offender could be charged up to $500 in fines. This should have kept things under control, yet water waste keeps dragging the city deeper into the drought.
The water grade that we got here in Arcadia was rated adequate, so people might think that's good enough. We have rain coming and everything's fine. But as a state, as a whole, we need to conserve more water because this is not an infinite source.
About like 80% of California's water goes to agriculture. And when you look at it in that context, I understand that a lot of people feel like there's nothing that we can do. But I think, you know, we're doing this story about, you know, conserving water here. It's not just conserving water, it's you as constituents of our democracy pushing for, you know, better water usage, better regulations from the government, because we're really the deciding factor on what happens in the future. So we really have to start speaking up for the people who can't speak up.
I mean, I'm just so excited like high schoolers are getting involved because that's kind of the one area where, I mean, you're not homeowners, so we can't ask you to stop watering your lawn, but you can still have so much impact.
So if we look at this from a Californian perspective and not just from Arcadia, I think we all really need to band together if we really want to live a comfortable life with, you know, enough water for everyone. We can't just go out wasting thinking it's not going to affect anyone. It's going to play an effect, and if everyone comes together for that, then I think we'll be able to make a difference.
In the end, the choice to live sustainably lies with us. For you people watching this in Arcadia High School, you know, we're the next generation. It's up to us what the future looks like. Whether or not we end up living lives with no water, with struggle, that's something that we get to decide. And whether or not we choose that option is something that we don't really know until the future.